Hello, and welcome to Out of Office. This is your weekly news show where we talk about everything in the ski industry that is going on right now. And boy, there is a lot lately. So we're trying to keep this thing as current as we possibly can, but it seems like we're a week behind no matter what we do. So with all that said, I want you guys to enjoy this episode and let us know, please, if there's things that you see going on in the industry that should be talked about on the show, things that are current that people aren't talking about enough, anything like that. Anything you want to hear on the weekly news show, please hit me up, leave it in the comments, shoot me an email, adam@outofpodcast.com, whatever you want. The goal is to keep this thing like an actual news show. I even got papers so I can do some of that. A lot of stories tonight, one of which is a congratulatory story for Mikaela Shiffrin as she hits 100 World Cup wins. It's never been done. She's the greatest of all time, and I don't think there's really much else you can say. There is the level of consistency that you have to maintain as an elite level athlete to win this often is beyond comprehension. She's been able to endure injuries. She's been able to get through full-length seasons every single season. Like, she manages to put herself out there and the best version of herself every single week. So props to her for that. I think the record is great, and like obviously hitting that last season was a huge milestone. Hitting 100 is another huge milestone. But I think what we forget about is the humanity of it. The Mikaela Shiffrin, the person of it. I can't imagine what it's like to be on that stage all the time, on the podium all the time, because it's like, you guys know how it is. It's what have you done for me lately in all sports, whether it's skiing or football or basketball or any other sport. It's what have you done for me lately? And the what have you done for me lately can be very, very draining, right? Like they only want to talk to you because you're winning. And when you're winning all the time, they want to talk to you all the time. That has to wear on you. And the fact that she is still able to maintain composure. She never says anything wrong. Every interview she ever does, you're like, I like her more than I liked her in the beginning of this conversation. I don't know how she does it, but congratulations to Mikaela Shiffrin, because huge win. Now, moving on to the next story of the night. On the same topic, kind of, where Mikaela got injured at Killington, they're losing the World Cup. Now, those two things back to back might sound like they're related. They're definitely not related. Killington is putting in a new chairlift on Superstar, and it's going to take them all of next season to complete that project. We may see it come back in 2026 to Killington, but for next year, it will be at Copper. Now, I have said this before, and when we reposted, I think, the Ski Magazine article, and what was said in it and what the headline was that Killington loses World Cup, going to Copper for 2025. Everybody was like, yeah, but it's only for a year. I used this before, like I used this comparison before, but this is very much like when your parent says they're going to take you to the movies tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and you don't go to the movies. Like, I just think that time has a way of like interrupting these kind of plans, and I don't know if it's going to happen in 2025. I'm sure we as New England will get an event back. I'm sorry, my computer has text messages now, and I'm not tech savvy enough to actually turn that off. So maybe we'll just mute it. That I can do. Oh, apparently I can't even do that. Anyway, I think it's a movie situation, right? It's like, we're going to go away for a year. They're going to go to Copper. What if Copper blows it out of the water? What if it's the best event ever? Like, then we're not going to see it come back? I don't know. I don't know what the details are. All I'm saying is that nothing is guaranteed. We may not see it back at Killington. I hope we do, because I think that Killington crowd is one of the best ever. I think there is very few places in the United States in particular where you can find those kind of crowds. Obviously, in Europe, you see it all the time. But I'm curious to see what this move means long-term for Killington as a World Cup ski destination, what it means for the New England race scene in general. I'm very, very, I don't know. I'm on the fence here. So you guys tell me, what do you think? Will this thing be back in New England? They say it's going to. Is that going to be the case? Let me know. Next up, we have our weather for the week, so I'm going to send it off to our friend Henry, and he is going to give you everything for this upcoming week.
All right, Adam, thanks for passing it on to me. Finally made it to March. Welcome to March, everybody. A lot of weather to talk about. Not the best weather this week, unfortunately. Starting the week off today with temperatures cold. Coldest day of the week, temperatures in the teens up north, some single digits up in the highest elevations. Cold day. Tomorrow, Tuesday, temperatures do warm up a touch. They rise into the 30s on Tuesday across the region, but by Tuesday night and a Wednesday night and Thursday morning, warm front is going to be moving in. Widespread rain across the region. Unfortunately, it looks like half an inch to about 1 inch of precipitation, and that's rain even for northern New England. Temperatures up there are going to be near 50 degrees, 45 to 50 degrees for a few hours Wednesday, especially later in the day, into early Thursday morning. And then by Thursday morning, the heaviest rain should be moving out. And then by Thursday evening, Thursday night, temperatures will be dropping off. Again, some upslope behind that. So northern Vermont Green Mountains upslope, probably 4 to 8 inches of upslope. And then Friday, temperatures are going to be in the 20s and 30s across the region. Windy though, winds increasing Wednesday, 30 to 40 miles an hour, especially across southern New England, maybe stronger in some areas. And then Thursday and Friday, northern New England could get in on some of that wind as well, so some lift holds certainly possible. Next chance at any widespread snow is this weekend. Watching this weekend, right now it looks like just some snow showers around the area, but as we head through mid-March, looks like a warming trend, unfortunately, through across the region, as we'll get more ridging through the eastern part of the United States, which will bring more milder temperatures. But don't be surprised if we see some sneaky snowstorms. It is possible. March can be a sneaky month. But yeah, a lot of weather this week to talk about. Again, that rain, unfortunately, Wednesday into Wednesday night before it moves out by Thursday morning, and then colder temperatures behind that. So I'll keep you guys updated. And yeah, Adam.
Thank you to Henry. Henry has been a great addition to this team. I cannot tell you how nice it is to have somebody other than myself on camera breaking this thing up. It makes a huge difference for me, and I think he brings a lot of value to the show. And not just the weather report. The weather report, great. Yeah, it's awesome. But I think he's a really cool personality. If you don't follow him on Instagram, please go do that. The next thing that we're going to talk about tonight. Molly Armandino has a new film out, and it's called Slopes of Change. It is a phenomenal piece. I have said this a million times before, but I think that the only projects I really care about are projects that show a little bit of personality, projects that show who the skier is, that tell a story, that have some feeling behind them. I'm so out on ski porn in 2025. I just don't care. There's very few skiers on earth that I can just watch a true ski only flick, and I think I could probably name them on one hand. Yeah, I mean, there's probably 5 to 6 that I would watch just based on ski alone. And that's not because there's not a million great skiers, it's because there are a million great skiers. And that's really the issue, right? Is there's so many great skiers, there's so many great films. How do you find a film? How do you find an athlete? How do you find a story that actually can push it beyond just being a ski flick? And I think Molly did a great job with Slopes of Change here, and it's worth your time. So go watch that thing now, please. Next thing, and one of the last things we're going to talk about tonight, is all about Fast Friday. Fast Friday is a series that Parker White started a few years ago, and it is awesome. It's one of my favorite contests of the year. Basically, he gives you a week to film a clip going as fast as you can, or just skiing loose and skiing excitedly, whatever it is. I thought about making a submission and using the electric skis as my submission, but sadly we will not have a demo in time. Fast Friday is closed for 2025, but be sure to keep an eye on, because I think this thing is going to keep going for a long time. I think next year, especially with all the support from Rozzy and Autumn and 686 and the brands that Parker works with, and just Parker's willingness to keep doing this competition, I think is a really, really good sign. So in 2026, make sure that you are ready for a week of just sending in a straight line as fast as you possibly can. And tonight we will close it out talking all about double BOA. Double BOA in snowboard boots is not a new thing. Double BOA in ski boots is a new thing. And we've talked about it on the first rendition of this show, where we were kind of like, okay, what do we think? Like, what is this thing going to do? The boots are starting to come out. We had the K2 Cortex in studio. What do we think? I was just at an expo this past weekend, and I got a lot of questions selling ski boots about, is it worth it? How about that double BOA stuff? I was in Boston, so how about that double BOA stuff? And it's like, I don't know how I feel about it yet, and I've said that before. I do think that the top BOA gives you a little bit more of that booster strap feel. I think that's going to be the sales pitch. Just like wrapping like a burrito, pressing like a quesadilla, that situation. I think the elastic booster strap situation, that feeling that we're describing for that top BOA is going to be the same story, where everybody picks up on it and everybody talks about it. Now, I will say the boots that I've tried on are a nightmare to get on. I think if you were an investor in the ski industry right now, the thing that you would be investing in is a boot horn. You would be investing in the boot horn market so hard right now, because everybody is going to need a little assistance getting their boots on in 2025. So I do think that buying a boot horn is probably a good idea, or starting a boot horn company. If you are an entrepreneur out there and you're watching this right now, a phenomenal idea for 2025 would be make a slightly better version of the boot horn. You are welcome. And if you do not include me in this, I will be very upset, because everybody is going to be needing those things very soon. Now, some of them are easier to get on, obviously, than others. But there is a lot going on here. And overall, I do feel like, and I think the entire industry is going to be unhappy with me for saying this, I feel like double BOA is half-baked. I feel like it's half-baked. It's not. I don't think it's ready. I think that we are not there yet. That's my humble opinion as somebody who has talked about BOA probably more than any other ski media person that's out there right now. What does it mean for ski boots in general? Obviously, ski boots are not going to just go away from buckles altogether, but you are going to see less of them. I think, like, on a boot wall, you can expect to see half of the boot offerings on a ski shop wall going to be BOA boots. And I think that number is only going to go up until we start to see what it is with snowboard boots, where it's like, all right, 80% of a wall is BOA. The rest is lace. And who is lace for? Lace is for somebody that really knows what they want. And buckle is kind of going to be the same scenario. They're never going to be able to kill buckles, but they can definitely get pretty close. And I think that that's where we are leaning towards. I don't think that there is an out of this BOA thing that we are in. In fact, I think in 2028, we are going to be talking all about Bluetooth adjustable BOA, which is coming to snowboard boots next year. That is definitely a thing that is happening. I am saying it now so that somebody cannot say, oh, where were you when Bluetooth BOA was announced? How come you didn't get it? It's like that. It's coming, and it'll be available next year. So I'm guessing in ski boots, it'll be probably not the year after. It'll be 2 years after that they follow suit. But Bluetooth in skiing is a different topic, and I think that'll be next week's conversation, because there is a lot of devices that are getting added into the fray as we go forward into the future years of what ski boot technology looks like. Because if you look at the industry, we talked about it before, it's like, what are we changing? What are we upgrading? Like, how are things going to be any better? How are they going to be improved? How is the ski experience going to go to that next level? And I don't have a good answer. I genuinely don't have a great answer for anybody. So that's what's coming. That's how I feel about double BOA. And I think that we all should take a closer look at what the industry is providing us as far as options go. I think if you want something, if there's a product out there, you got to start asking. You got to start asking at your local ski shop if there's something that you're looking for specific, if there's something that you're hoping for. And that's kind of my ending question here, is like, what is it that you're hoping for? If we're talking about ski boots right now, what is the best thing that you could ask for in a ski boot right now? Point blank. What's the best thing? That's all for tonight, and we will catch you next week when we talk all about everything happening in the industry all over again. So, talk to you then. Bye.